This is chapter 1 from the beginning of time. Let us start with the introduction of the chapter first. The study of history is the study of the entire human past, which started millions of years ago. It is a continuous and unending phenomenon. The achievements of the human society can be known from the records of some kind or the other. The period of man's progress for which we have written records is known as historic period. But the man had lived on the earth for millions of years before he developed the art of writing. This period is called prehistoric period. The archaeologists estimated that it was 5.6 million years ago that the first human beings appeared on the surface of the earth. Gradually, several forms of humans emerged and then disappeared. Human beings resembling the present-day humans were called Homo sapiens, or modern humans originated about 160,000 years ago. During this period of human history, man obtained food by gathering plant produce or by hunting. Man also learned to make crude stones, tools, and to communicate with one another. We had little knowledge about the prehistoric times until the 19th century, when the archaeologists excavated at the place where the prehistoric man might have lived. This excavation led to the discovery of human fossils, old tools, pottery, and bones of ancient human beings and animals. On the basis of this information thus gathered from these things, the archaeologists and the scholars have brought to light the story of human evolution, the precursors of the modern human beings. The evidence of human fossils, stone tools, and cave paintings are the main sources of knowledge of early human society. We should know the meaning of fossils. The fossils are the hardened remains or impressions of very old plants, animals, or humans which have been turned into stone. They are often found inside a rock and are thus preserved for millions of years. The fossils can be dated either through direct chemical analysis or indirectly by dating sediments in which they are buried. Once the archaeologists date a fossil, they can work out the sequence of the human evolution. The difference in the shapes and size of skulls also come as a result of human evolution. Origin of man. Human beings belong to a species called mammals. They also belong to the class called primates. A primate is one of the groups of mammals which is the most intelligent and highly developed. It includes human beings, monkeys, and apes. They have body hair, a relatively longer period of infant development, mammary glands, different types of teeth, and the ability to maintain a constant temperature. About 2.4 million years ago, there emerged a subgroup among the primates called hominoids. These include apes. The scientists also are in the view that the earliest human being appeared on the earth about 2 million years ago. But these humans had many similarities with apes and gorillas. The head of the early man stooped backwards. His head was very small. His body was covered with thick hair. He could not speak, but could produce intelligibly sounds. He was a wanderer and went from place to place in search of food. He ate raw meat, wild fruits, and roots. He did not know the use of fire. He lived the life of wild animals in the beginning. He moved like animals on four legs, but with the passage of time, he learned to stand erect using hands. Whatever I discussed here is the feature of the hominoids. Now be careful, it's not hominids or hominids, it's hominoids. Now, the first human appeared in Africa about 2 million years ago, but some historians think that the Homo sapiens did not evolve solely in Africa, but simultaneously in Africa, Europe, and North and the Southeast Asia. I mean to say that the Homo sapiens did not only evolve in Africa, but the Homo sapiens was found in Europe also, North and Southeast of Asia. And this was the beginning of the Stone Age and the dawn of the early man. This period of time is called the Stone Age because these early men created tools of stones. Before we study the evolution of man from the modern apes to modern men, we must know the meaning of the terms hominids and hominoids. While hominoids were a subgroup among the primates, the hominids were evolved from hominoids and share certain common features, but they have major difference as well. Hominoids have a smaller brain than hominids. They are quadrupeds walking on all fours, but with flexible forelimbs. Hominids, by contrast, have an upright posture and bipedal locomotion. That means they are walking on 2 feet. There were also marked differences in the hands, which enables the making of the use of tools. Hominoids are different from monkeys. Infant development and dependency, the remains of the early humans have been classified into different species and have difference in the bone structure. The first thing that we are going to study among them is the Australopithecus. Okay, now who is this, or what is this Australopithecus? The first ape man was known as Australopithecus, which means southern ape. They are found in East Africa. They had basic traits of humans. They could stand up, but the basic physical difference between Australopithecus and the apes were hands. The subspecies of Australopithecus and apes were Zindanthropus, okay, and they were known to have used tools. They lived like animals and went naked. Our next species is the Homo habilis, or the handyman. Man did not have strong claws to help them fight. They could not overpower sharp-toothed tigers or cave lions. Men had to get smart to survive. Homo habilis men, who existed between 2.4 and 1.5 million years ago, are credited with creating some tools to help live more comfortably and to better protect themselves against the many meat-eating animals of the time. Homo habilis were taller than their ancestors. They followed food sources and set up camps as needed. They sheltered under cliffs whenever possible. Although this group made some stone tools and weapons, these tools were still very crude. Their main diet was probably wild fruits, roots, nuts, and vegetables. Then small groups banded together for the protection and efficiency. The size of the group depended upon the amount of food available, and the groups would disband and move on as food required. The scientists firmly believed that Homo habilis built campfires, but they did not know how to make fire. Since they did not have fire-making skills, they had to wait until they found something burning from natural causes. Set aflame, for example, a lightning strike. A campfire had to be carefully watched because if the fire went out, they did not know how to start it again. The area around campfire was probably used as a sleeping area. A routine campfire would keep most wild animals away from man, as most wild animals were afraid of fire. When they broke camp, they probably attempted to bring their fire with them by carrying several lit branches with which to start a new camp fire when they stop again. If their lit branch went out, they had to do without fire until they found something burning somewhere. The scientists have found the remains of the campfires of Homo habilis and dated them. They also have found some stone tools at these sites. They have also discovered animal bones as well as to indicate the Homo habilis man